Last time on epic LEGO City Adventures. Oh my gosh, it's Maul! Is that lady on the right breaking TOS? Is this breaking TOS?
It's like Rex used this hammer to dig his way out of prison. Sure he didn't use this?
Has he got...
The end.
So stereotypical. Oh my gosh! No. To sum up what we have to do next, Frank is a hopeless idiot who needs to be desperately rescued from his plunder because he drove an enormous truck to somewhere, we don't know where, because some idiot thought it would be a grand idea to give that tomato ketchup stain of a Lego man a driving license. I wasn't in a particular rush to go and save Frank, so I did a few tricks in a garbage truck, terrorizing the citizens of Lego City. I went to go save Frank, and he straight up yelled that I was there to rescue him, as loud as that man's little lungs could. So I got me confronted by this Asian-oriented gang, of which I was able to use my impressive kung fu techniques to counteract. Thankfully, I was the one driving the truck back, not Frank, or else I fear that by the time we made it back, the pair of us would both be in literal Lego pieces. However, the gang previously mentioned, of which I had learned was ran by this guy called Shan, was still hot on my tail and destroying the truck. Or they would be destroying the truck if it wasn't a total tank. Then the game thought it would be a good idea to let Frank drive again! I was then told by the annoying receptionist lady that I would be going undercover in a gang. You guessed it, I was going undercover in Shang's gang! So I was given a little bit of a beanie and a nice jacket, and now I look like some 40-year-old dad who's currently stuck in 2012. I strolled on down to the pagoda, and then my iPad was updated. I can now listen in to people's conversations, which were quite, quite varied.
I'd like to order, deep pan, pepperoni with mushrooms.
Look, I've told you already. If you want me to paint your portrait, you will have to stay still. Now, do you want me to paint your portrait? Because you're late for your interview. Where are you? Oh, you're meant to be at Chan's limo place. Get a move on. Can you believe that? That Bucky Butler guy.
The one who wants to join the gang?
Yeah, he was at the art gallery.
Well, they do have an excellent collection of cubist sculptures.
Cubic? Like Minecraft! I arrested some guy who was going to be in the gang, pretending to be the guy who I just arrested, and then proceeded to join the gang. Lovely. That's what I call deception. My first mission was to drive around this super rich billionaire fella called Forrest Blackwell. Why I was given this job? I have no clue! Like seriously, you are entrusting a guy who you employed no more than 5 minutes ago to chauffeur around a multi-billionaire who probably has more power and money than Bill freaking Gates. To me! Someone whose sense of fashion is so backwards you can automatically guess I was a police officer by simply squinting at me. So we had a nice leisurely drive. I'm certain I won't see him again. Once again, they entrusted me, a completely new guy, not even hired for a full day, to go steal a car. I rocked up to the garage where the car was stored, but there were guards. There was a party happening, so I needed to distract the guards, and I thought the party could help. I searched around the area and decided that a party would be how I would get them away from their guarding duties. How would I distract them? I don't know! Maybe they'd be interested in the Lego bikini woman? I don't know! Then I looked up and saw what they wanted. Food and music, which gave me further questions, like, how is this a party without any food or music? If there's no music, what are those people dancing to? What's the appeal of this party if nothing is happening but dancing to nothing? Surely the odd bikini Lego woman couldn't attract all these people to this area at once. Why was no one questioning when I jumped over their pool in a police car? So many questions, but no answers. I found this chef who serves food poisoning on a plate. I made his barbecue and got the chicken for him. I did most of the work here. All he did was slap the chicken on the metal thing. I actually got the stuff. Hi, Mr. Chef. Want me to do the entire barbecue for you while you're at it? Then, because the citizens throughout Lego City are utterly incapable, but one of the guards wanted music, of course I had to spin the decks myself. However, citizens being incapable is a good thing, as the guards are incapable at their job, and both left the car unguarded, so I could safely break in. until these people in costumes came bursting out the door. I had an intensive battle with them. Seriously, these walking product placements for LEGO minifigure series 69 are doing a far better job at being guards than the actual guards ever were. Luckily, my intensive training had prepared me for beating up pharaohs and cavemen. Finally, I broke in. Then I got a call from my mate Frank, pretty much telling me, hey, you know everything you're destroying? Well, yeah, you can do whatever you want. The police will pay for it. So what that means is that regardless of how many people I run over, the police will be paying for their hospital fees, not me. I dropped off the car and was given my third task under my new employment. I better be getting paid well. As far as I can see, I'm doing the most work out of anyone in this man's gang. This third task was to investigate why on earth an alarm had gone off at Chan's limo place. You see, this is the kind of thing I should have done as a first job, not blimmin' transporting multi-millionaires around. We had to go investigate. And it was imperative that we did not look at that man's records. Regardless, it turns out Cole the Black Ninja from LEGO Ninjago was looking at his records. Which meant I was looking at his records. Which meant I had disobeyed his orders. Oh, by golly, I'm going to get fired on my first day on the job. I chased the ninja down. Unfortunately, they maxed out their spinjitzu skills, and it was quite difficult to catch up to them. Until they jumped into a dumpster. Turns out, it wasn't Cole from Ninjago. It was Chase McCain's love interest. And he's still chasing after her. Get it? Chase McCain chasing? Oh, okay. By disobeying my boss's orders and looking at his records, I had learned that he was working for this ice cream shop fella called Vinny Pappalardo. And of course, fueled by capitalism, I wanted to go join his gang. Because the man runs an ice cream shop. If I can't make money, I'd at least be getting some ice cream. However, Vinny is very hard to please. So I needed to bust out his mate from nearly going to prison. I went back to the police station to permanently borrow their prison truck, but I needed to do some chores first. Like fixing up a motorbike with no wheels. And then driving it. Isn't this guy supposed to be some sort of mechanic? Why is he in charge? Why can't Chase just single-handedly run the entire city? I seem to be the only one doing anything useful in this city. Anyways, I yoinked a prison truck and smoothly snuck Vinny's mate into the back of my truck. I told him I was using him as a way to get in with Vinny, and he was surprisingly okay with it. He reckoned that the best way to win Vinny's favour was to steal some weaponry that he was wanting for Christmas. So I rammed into this truck until the outsides had been damaged enough for me to land on the lovely weaponry that was required of me. I rocked up to his ice cream parlour, which looked less like an ice cream parlour and more of some really odd restaurant. Then I walked up to Vinny. He was yelling at his assistant, emitting an aura of clown? Doesn't matter. If this man is going to make me some sweet Lego studs, then he's a man I want to work with. You won't believe this, but my first job under Vinny was to steal a literal emerald the same size as my character. I was hired by 2 people in the same day, and in that same day, I drove a multi-billionaire around town. I stole a car off of some caveman. I tried to hit on a ninja, and now I'm going to go rob a bank. Turns out, even the annoying receptionist lady loves the idea of me breaking into a bank and tells me to go down into a disgusting sewer. How very convenient, considering I seem to be doing an outright disgusting job at solving crime and am instead the literal and only cause of it in the entire city. It was down in the sewers, surrounded by the murky stone walls and the revolting waters of a dark forest green hue. Vinny thought it would be a grand idea to educate me on those weapons I stole. They call them colour guns. Though in all honesty, it's just a super selective spray paint. I could only change the colour of this gun by using a colour swapper. So after arresting police officers, I found a green colour swapper. Green colours can turn red electrical panels green, which makes them turn on. Red colours can turn green electrical panels red, which makes them turn off. It's revolutionary, I know. However, my overcomplicated paint gun couldn't help me pass the toxic waters of the sewers. But this sketchy floating mattress I literally built out of parts in a sewer somehow was able to protect me from literal poisonous water. My stakes were increased when my good mate Vinny reassured me that if I messed up, there would be consequences.
Wouldn't justify employing him anymore, so he's sleeping with the fishes now.
Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. Silver colors can paint things silver, which defeats the point of robbing a bank, when we can just paint everything and make tons of money. Silver objects can also reflect these crazy lasers that are around the emerald. Of course, these reflecting discs being conveniently put here for any criminal to come and use to their advantage. Blue colors can turn walls blue, and somehow enables me to climb them far better than when they weren't blue. However, as I rocked up to the big vault where we could only assume the emerald was stored, I needed to solve this lovely little puzzle to get to it. I call this one, spin the wheel until the thing turns green. Once all the lights were on, I had my hands on that lovely emerald. Villagers would trade 3 dirt for this. I just somehow picked it up. You saw the size of that thing, right? I must have pockets that somehow work like blimmin' black holes to carry that thing. After arresting more police officers, glad to know I wasn't the only one thinking this, I needed to get out of the bank. So I destroyed a little bit of public property, which gave me Roman numerals for me to remember. These numerals were a code. I inputted the code into these ancient looking things and was awarded a key to the back of the bank. No clue why I needed to go behind there, however, as I had already stolen the emerald. Why on earth would I be going round back to steal cash from what? Cash registers? Then I blew up a golden statue, which I probably could have stolen for more profits, and it rolled into more of the bank. Good thing all this destruction and chaos will be covered by the police force. I'm sure you're wondering, that's a lot of destruction and explosions. But how do I actually get out of the bank? Well, I got out the only way I know how. By building a literal snowplow and ramming my way through the front of the blimming building. A snowplow with rocket boosters, mind you. And then I just somehow ran away and escaped in a snowplow. How did the police lose an entire snowplow? It's bright and orange with rocket boosters. You cannot miss it. Look at it go, it's just rocket boosters. How can you miss that? I got away freely. However, I could not lose sight of my mission, catching Rex Fury. Hey up fellas, I'm trying a new style of video again. I know, it's shocking. I'd really appreciate it if you could share this video with all your mates. Maybe they'll like it too. Thanks for sticking to the end fellas. I'll see you next time.